They called him the Lord of Shadows, but he never sought darkness. Born of thunder, forged in war, he was the brother to Zeus and Poseidon, and when the world was divided, his fate was sealed below. He stood apart from his brothers, his gaze calm and shadowed, holding a helm of black iron while Zeus brandished his lightning and Poseidon gripped his trident. The spoils of a cosmic war were laid bare, and it was time to claim them. 3 brothers drew their lots to divide the universe. Zeus, with a roar of triumph, claimed the heavens as his domain. Poseidon, his eyes reflecting the deep, ruled the seas. And Hades. He drew the last lot, the unseen world beneath the earth. A deep, glowing chasm opened at his feet, revealing a vast, mist-shrouded underworld. This was his kingdom. He descended through the very roots of the world, into a realm where no light dared to follow. He walked among rivers of shadow and mountains of bone, surrounded by the echoes of the dead. He passed through spiraling stone passages lit only by a blue, ethereal ghost fire as drifting spirits whispered around him. The air was thick with the scent of ancient dust and forgotten memories, a haunting, beautiful, and vast emptiness. But he did not flinch. He did not curse his fate. He looked upon the chaos and said only, "If this is my kingdom, then let it be just." And so, he built order in the dark. He stood before his throne of obsidian as the lost souls swirled around him like a storm. Raising his staff, he commanded the shadows to align, shaping cities, gates, and rivers from the void. Under his quiet command, chaos found its structure. Mortals on the sunlit earth prayed to Zeus for storms and to Poseidon for safe seas, but no one prayed to Hades. They feared his name, whispering it only in hushed, fearful tones. Yet, they failed to understand. Without him, there would be no final rest, no end to suffering, and therefore, no new beginning. While temples of gold rose to his brothers, Hades watched silently from the shadows below, the keeper of a necessary silence. Then one day, a new sound echoed through his silent halls. Music. A mortal girl, crowned in spring, walked where no living being had ever dared to tread. Her name was Persephone. She stepped into the underworld, carrying flowers that bloomed with a ghostly, beautiful light. The mists parted as she entered, her white dress glowing against the profound darkness. And from afar, unseen, the king of the dead watched, captivated by this impossible flicker of life. The legends say he took her by force, a villain stealing the light. But the truth is softer and far more human. He begged her to stay, not as a prisoner trapped in his realm, but as a queen to rule beside him. He knelt before her in his vast, dark hall, offering a single pomegranate that glowed like a living heart. Her hand hovered over it, torn between the light she knew and the compelling shadow before her. When Persephone returned to the world above, the earth bloomed with life and celebration. When she descended back to her throne, it withered in sorrow. And so, from their love and their separation, the seasons were born, a cosmic dance of joy and longing, painting the world in the colors of their story, a perpetual cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Empires rose and fell like waves on the shore. The names of the gods, once thundered across the world, faded into myth. But Hades remained. He did not hunger for worship or demand sacrifice. He simply waited, the quiet, eternal guardian of all that was once alive, a silent witness to the endless parade of history passing through his gates. A time came when Olympus had turned to dust, and no prayers reached the silent heavens. Hades looked upward through the eternal darkness. Zeus's thunder was gone. Poseidon's waves had stilled. The world of the living had fallen silent. Only death remained constant. The ghosts of his powerful brothers faded into memory, and the last spark of divinity in the cosmos glowed faintly around his own crown. Then, a new sound rose from the endless river of souls, a whisper multiplied by billions. thank you. They were not whispers of fear, but of gratitude. And for the first time in an eternity, Hades smiled. A soft light reflected in his eyes as countless ghostly hands rose toward him, not in supplication, but in acknowledgement of his tireless vigil. Here lies the truth no myth ever told. Hades was never trapped below. The great gates of the underworld were never locked from the inside. He could have left whenever he wished, but he stayed. Because where Zeus ruled through fear and Poseidon through pride, Hades ruled through duty. And duty, in its purest form, is a kind of love. He turned his back on the light, not as a prisoner, but as a king returning to his people. When the universe itself began to fade and the stars grew cold and distant, there was only one light left, deep beneath the ashes of creation. A black throne, and upon it sat the last god, watching over the last soul. Even at the very end of everything, Hades still ruled. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the myths, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories. We'll see you next time.